Hi, welcome. This is Taurus Tarot, and I'm Joy. And we are getting a message for Cancer. And so let's see, Cancer. What is coming in for you? I kept visualizing or kept seeing a beach, beautiful beach, and a sunset, and the sky turning a beautiful yellow and orange and pink, and just this really peaceful feeling that was coming through, and this really strong feeling of gratitude as well that was coming through. So let's see if we can get more information about that. Yeah. So far we have the Knight of Swords, Nine of Coins, love it, and Judgment. I'll look for one more. Yeah, so with the Knight of Swords, I'm really feeling like truth is just coming through. Truth is coming through. And the Knight of Swords is really communicating this image of like defending himself. Like he's got his sword up. He's ready. He's ready for battle. He's ready to defend himself. He's ready to stand up for what he believes in. To stand up for what is right and what is just. And he's got this determination in his eyes, as if this time he's not backing down. Like he may have backed down in the past, but this time he's definitely not backing down. He's got this intense look of determination and discipline in his eyes, and his sword is up, and he's ready. He's ready to stand up for his truth. He's ready to defend his truth. He's ready to speak his truth. He's ready to say what feels right to him, regardless of whether other people will get it, or if other people will agree. That doesn't matter to him. He is feeling, or she, right? This energy, either or. He's feeling like this is the point in time where you can't be quiet anymore. Like you can't just kind of quietly if someone says something that this person doesn't necessarily agree with, and they're quiet about it, that's one thing. But then when someone says something that is just utterly based in ignorance or hatred, then this energy here is ready to step right in, to jump right in, and correct that negative viewpoint. This is tricky. Because what's coming in is this kind of idea of how, like, oftentimes in Asian cultures, you don't speak your mind. You don't speak up. You don't. You accept what is, and you move along, regardless of whether it is necessarily what you believe or not. There's like this honor to family and society that is foremost, that is upheld foremost, and if what you are feeling and believing in your soul, in your heart of hearts, is not in alignment with that, then the expectation is almost to just to not say anything, to squash what you're feeling as a, inside, what you're feeling as right, or in alignment with you, and instead to fall into alignment with the family expectation or the societal cultural expectation. And I believe that dynamic actually exists in a lot of cultures, not necessarily just Asian cultures, or it exists in a lot of families, right? Not necessarily Asian families, but in any family. And it could be like a sexist dynamic too, right? Like in the household, the father, it's the man who says who says what goes, right? And it's expected that because he's the man that you do not question it and you fall into line with it, right? Regardless of what you really truly believe deep down in your soul. And this right here for you, Cancer, is saying that's not gonna fly anymore. It's time for you to kind of step into this position where you're not just gonna like sit back and just fall into line anymore. You're going to speak your truth, regardless of how it may be taken by other people, yeah, or regardless of what you think other people might think about it. It's this force, this energy is so strong that there's no denying it. But but I like these flowers are really standing out. These tattoos, and this is the tattoo tarot deck, and these flowers to me on his arm, these tattoos are really communicating love, right? Like it feels like the top one is a rose, like a red rose, which often symbolizes love, and it's like this, this energy is coming from a place of love, right? Like this energy is screaming, hey, my actions, my thoughts, my actions, my beliefs, they are rooted in love. And when it's rooted in love, I know it cannot be wrong. And if you disagree with it, then that's your issue. And maybe my speaking up is going to help you to understand that maybe your actions and your thoughts and beliefs are not so based in love, and maybe it's you that really needs to question your actions and beliefs. And me, this energy speaking up about it, is going to be that trigger for you for others, right, around you to start thinking for themselves, hey, or start being more aware for themselves, like, hey, are my beliefs and my actions that I'm easily like spewing out there, I don't think that I've ever really taken a step back to really examine them. And hey, now that I am, maybe those thoughts and beliefs that I've been having is not really coming from a place of love. Okay, so you are the one. I hope you're not getting confused with this, but I feel like you are, by speaking your own truth, that you are almost like activating something in others that is causing them to question their own thoughts and ideas and beliefs about things, and whether they are coming, and those thoughts and ideas and beliefs and actions are coming from a place of love or not, like yours is. Okay, and I feel like this it brings you to this energy of this real satisfaction and pride, which sound like sort of egoistic things, but it's not. It's like there's this energy of finally of understanding how good it really feels to be authentic, to speak your truth, to stand up for what you believe in, to defend your thoughts and ideas and beliefs when they come from a place of love. And it feels really good to do that. It's almost like there's this there's this reward, and the reward is not it does absolutely make you feel good, but it's absolutely not based in ego. This Nine of Coins is this energy of like, I've worked hard for this, I've earned this, I deserve this, and I'm going to enjoy it. I am going to reap the rewards of my actions, and my actions specifically in regards to speaking my truth and defending what is right and good and just. Yeah, defending what is right and good and just. Defending this new awareness that you have, that that you need to speak up. Speak up for what you believe in. Speak up for truth, and speak up for love. Yeah. And ultimately, it really is going to be something that is going to bring humanity to the cusp of a new reality, to the point in time where it's like, okay, here, on this end, I have, a choice to move forward in a way that has always been, right? In a way where we're not necessarily acting from a place of unconditional love, or I can take this new road where who knows where it's gonna lead me. And yes, that's a little scary, because it's always kind of scary, like not knowing what your next move is, or what the next step is, or what it's gonna look like when you get there. And yes, that there's definitely some hesitation and some fear involved in that, but there's also this opportunity to like reap this harvest, right? To reap this new future, this new reality that is completely grounded in a place of love. Yeah. And that is what is in store for you. And so it's almost like the Eight of Coins here, right, comes before the Nine of Coins. And the Eight of Coins is like, it's like this step before you can get to this Nine of Coins, which is this place of like, I've done the work. I've stood up for what I believed in. I fought for what is right and just, and what is based in love. And now I'm going to be in that place of enjoying it, right? So, but first, humanity, where humanity is not in this space yet. This is where you speaking up, will bring you to this place. But you speaking up will also bring humanity to this space. But it's gonna take a little bit longer. It's gonna take a little bit longer. So right now, it's going, the rest of humanity is kind of at this point where we are making a decision about what harvest we're going to reap. Yeah, what is the reality of the future going to be for us as a human race? Okay, so but specifically for you, Cancer, the big energy here is this energy of really being able to to speak it, to share it, to proliferate it, right? So you can have all of this love inside of you, Cancer. You can have all of this love and wisdom and be in that energy of it, and absolutely that energy is communicated through you in your actions, right, in your thoughts and your beliefs, but then this energy of actually speaking it in a way that is you don't make excuses for it is so much more powerful. It's like it moves you beyond just feeling it, and it moves you into proliferating it, right? It moves you from, I just had an image of like of the rose opening up, and it starts as this bud, right? And this bud can contain all this love inside of it. And it's beautiful, the rosebud in itself, but when it starts opening up, it begins to spread that love outwards, and it just feels so much more potent that way. When the rose opens up, you can smell the beautiful fragrance of it, and you can see the layers of beauty, right? All of the different petals in the rose as it unfolds, while as the bud is just kind of, you might see a few petals on the outside and not be aware of what's in the inside, but as it opens up, you get to experience its full beauty. And so that's kind of what I'm feeling for you, that as you hold that love inside of you for sure, but now is really the time for you to like express it and share it and allow it to proliferate, allow it to be, by speaking of it, you're allowing it to be the dominant energy, right? Not just for you yourself, which it does bring this for you yourself individually, but also for humanity. Yeah, and this is the part where service comes in, right? Like it's like moving beyond yourself, right? And for me personally, it's like sometimes I feel like, oh man, I have so much work to do. Like how can I go out there and like communicate all of this and share all of this when I still have so much work to do on myself. It's like at times I'd feel hypocritical, but then as I'm thinking about it and as I'm understanding it better, I'm never gonna be at that place where I've reached the pinnacle, right? It's always going to be an unfolding process. It's always going to be an evolving, an evolution. And so I have to do these things simultaneously. I have to continue to work on the betterment of my own soul, my own soul's growth. I know there are people who think that we're not here to grow and to evolve, that we're simply here to experience, and I think that there is some truth to that, but I also do know that from my personal what I want my personal experience to be is growth, right? And not just growth in a way that I'm growing, but also that the world around me is growing, right? So, and I think that needs to happen simultaneously. So I went off on a little bit of a tangent there, I'm sorry. But ultimately, Cancer, I think this is a really good thing for you. I think that there's this big, beautiful ball of concentration of unconditional love within you. And it's like, now that there's this opportunity for it to be allowed to flow out of you and into the experience and into the experience of others around you. And that's hugely powerful, because it's like almost like it's this, now you are contributing this, you are servicing the collective, you are servicing all of humanity with this love that you are now not just holding inside of you, but that you are sharing more freely with the rest of the collective. Okay, so I hope that makes sense for you. That's just the way it's coming through. Even for me, sometimes I don't understand it as it's coming through, but later on, as when I go back and sometimes watch the videos, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what that meant. But so hopefully that comes out, because it's feeling a little confusing in my mind right now. But anyway, that is the message, and just know that it finds you when it's supposed to, and you know, take what feels good and leave the rest. If it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel like in alignment with where you are in your life, then you know, toss it. You don't need it, right? Take what feels good. Allow the feeling, as Neville Goddard says, allow the feeling to be your guide. Okay? All right. Sorry. Aloha and namaste.